Alright, so Diz, is you ready?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me from all the way back here? Or I gotta scoot up?
Oh no, you good. I hear you.
I
just put this on. It's fine.
just, man, you so kind.
That's that neighbor, bro. If these niggas know.
Lens, is you ready?
I'm ready, bro.
Jason, man, how are we sounding? Are we ready over here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Alright, fair. I guess it's on me. Appreciate y'all once again. We in the building. Y'all are tuned in to the OETKB podcast where we old enough to know better and young enough not to give a fuck. How we doing?
Good, B.
Like, do we really mean it, or we just like,
B? Trying to hump something.
You ain't nigga gonna dry dick like a motherfucker.
Desert, bro.
Bruh, but do you guys mean that sincerely? Like, is everything good? Is everything well?
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good.
Coming off this little cold. Yeah,
Yes.
we good out here. You know what I'm saying? Give me some elderberry in my system. You know what I'm saying?
Elderberry. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
That's a MILF.
And the fact that as soon as he said it, I was like, bro, I know what the fuck he talking about.
Hey, I'm still lost.
Elder.
I got it.
Berry, black and berry suited, older berry suited juice.
Oh, you know how to
Oh, you was
Come on, bro.
This is baby. Elderberry is a really good. It's really good for you to eat if you got if you sick.
So if I get a sugar mama and I engage in oral activities with her, she can cure all illnesses.
Everything you need.
And this thing I've been calling to work.
It's like penicillin, bro.
Are they bottling up that elderberry? It's elderberry, right?
Elderberry, it's a real thing.
Is that how they make the emergency and the Zycam shit? Is that what's in Player Flintstones? The vitamins,
binder and citrus juice.
I know I wasn't the only one who had to get the Player Flintstone joints. The vitamins. You been telling me some old lady squatting over like an assembly line, just getting her juices on like
Just
saving the world.
Kegels.
Saving the world one day at a time. Oh man, Jason, you ain't said nothing, man.
Okay.
You wanted to say something, you said something.
We gotta get like a Jason word count when we get the video.
In every
So
episode,
you gotta break the record.
every episode you can count this shit on one. This nigga been in complete silence and said, yeah.
Yeah, I feel you.
I don't think he said I'm good.
That's all he
I said
said.
I'm good, and then I was laughing at this nigga for the damn elderberry.
I just wanted to
We're not
make sure.
interrupting. I'm good.
I just want to make sure you was good, man. Man, is there any open issues before we get to, get into the proceedings this evening?
Nah, bro.
Nah.
Everything Gucci.
Like I said earlier, I guess it's on me. Where am I? Feel the pressure under more scrutiny, and what I do, act more stupidly. Bought more jewelry, more Louis V. My mama couldn't get through to me. The drama, people suing me. I'm on TV talking like it's just you and me. I'm just saying how I feel, man. I ain't go to college. No. Wait, where was it?
I ain't one of the Cosbys. I ain't go to Hill, man.
Alright, I guess the money should have changed them. I guess I should have forgot where I came from. Now that was a lie. We don't give that much of a lyric, but that is like an iconic thing. I thought everybody was gonna be like in their head like saying it as well. So I thought I'd give it a little bit more. But the part that speaks to this particular episode would be the on TV talking like it's just you and me? Is it?
I guess.
I mean, what is cancel culture exactly? Like,
Man,
It's not real.
honestly, man, it's like a bunch of foolishness.
oh, and I picked that quote for a reason, but we'll pace it, right, Jazz?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And we have I guess she brought her spend a night back. She just been here. Jazz just in the building again because she knew kind of what we left off last week when she was here, and the conversation where it may go. So she wanted to make sure she was a part of it because she was adamant about a certain conversation. But as for this one on this level right now, cancel culture. You said it ain't real, Lens?
I don't think it's real at all.
And to what extent?
Who's been canceled? I stepped in the way of love in this motherfucker.
Damn, you gonna go straight to R. Kelly?
I mean, but see, I don't think R. Kelly's cancel culture though. R. Kelly ain't cancel culture.
If he's not one of the people that we're targeting as far as someone to cancel, what's the criteria for getting canceled?
I mean, okay, like I feel like, shit.
And I'm not like R. Kelly is whatever. My problem is it's been what's the nigga that, maybe it was the Laker game. Was it Woody Harrelson? Woody Harris? Woody something. The nigga that brought the little Chinese girl to the game for 3 decades and now that's his girlfriend. Nobody knows what I'm talking about.
No, are you talking about Woody Allen, the dude?
Is it Woody Allen?
His daughter that he was adopted?
That's now his girlfriend?
Are you talking? That's Woody Allen, right?
Yeah, it's Woody something.
Okay, so
but y'all acting like Morgan Freeman ain't did the same thing. And he's still God.
I'm saying it's more than one person. Why we go after one person for doing something instead of saying, hey, this is wrong. Let's get everybody.
Because it's cool and it's popular, and that's why cancel culture is here, because they make a certain group of people mad, and we're like, oh, we're gonna cancel them. But what is cancel? like how can you? They're not even canceling people. They just we gonna be off of them for a couple of days, and then we gonna move to the next person.
I don't think that's even. I think that couple of days you're supposed to be off of him was when he get the most streams he ever got in his life.
I think I'm going to. How do I want to break it down? All right, so cancel culture for me. You brought up R. Kelly initially. I thought it was very, very, very important that I stayed away from streaming this music, playing this stuff, anything that may generate revenue, because I feel like what was keeping R. Kelly afloat and the behaviors prolonged that he was taking part in was the fact that he had
all the aunties.
Yeah, not all the aunties, but because he had that force field around him of wealth. So because he had that wealth and he had that, the poor, he can get away with fucking adolescents for decades. So I wanted to make sure I didn't contribute to that. So that's why I didn't fuck around and I wasn't playing that shit, even though his shit. His music speaks for fucking self. His music, he is that nigga. Like as far as period. I know in other episodes we kind of avoided him and Bill Cosby because we just didn't want to, Yeah. But I feel like in that sense, for us to not addressing these people and not calling their names and not saying shit, I feel like we was, I don't know, I won't say following the crowd, but we have been so heavily influenced by cancel culture. We ain't got that many people who tuning us in now, but I can say some shit. You go, whoa, we gonna get canceled. I think.
Hell no, I'm letting that shit rock. Leave it. No, nigga, say that shit. I'm gonna double down on it. But what you want to say?
I think it's just such a it's real. It's really big, and I don't think that people are realizing that it doesn't really equate too much. 9 times out of 10, the people who are rallying to cancel you aren't people that are contributing anyway. Like
people that aren't even fans of you or never really listening to you like that,
or a show you don't watch, or a website you don't subscribe to, or just people you're not checking up on anyway. Something trendy happens and it's a bandwagon and there's some space on it, people jump on it. I feel like it's very, very, very dangerous, and I think that inadvertently people have participated, like us. Yeah. I'll say me. The reason why I picked that Kanye West lyric is because at one point in time, right around that time he was on that Trump shit, when Kanye was up there shucking and jiving, how I feel. Now I just feel like the nigga's just mentally unstable. But for a while, I was not listening to Kanye West music. That whole, what was that? The 7 weeks he put music out was the Tiana, it was Pusha, it was Side. And then he dropped 2 albums.
Side Knock Project?
Yeah. No, I don't think he was a part of it.
Like he ghostwriting.
He was a project, but I don't think he put it out.
Okay, so No Church on Sunday wasn't a part of it.
No Church on Sunday was way before.
Okay.
He said he wanted, because after it happened, he was like, "Yo, I want to do a tape."
So
but it was like after
is that what we gotta do? We gotta start talking about chronological hip hop historian, and the motherfucker just
basically.
All right.
Kanye West though, are we saying that Kanye West is mentally unstable, so we have an excuse to not cancel him?
He's been saying it for 20 years.
But now that I'm voting for Trump, now it's like, oh yeah, he really is mentally unstable.
I've been saying that before.
I think.
So Kanye West has been Kanye West for Kanye West has been Kanye West since Kanye West was Kanye West, right?
Exactly.
He's always been the way that he's been. Why is now, when he has a differing view of most people, he's mentally unstable?
It's not that I think he's getting an excuse from me. It's that now I don't put any stock, any merit. There's no validity to what anything he has to say, whether to agree with me or not. At one point in time, I thought he stood for something. I now realize he's just an emotional wreck. It may come from a good-hearted place. He may not be ill-willed or evil-spirited, but emotionally, like, there's no filter between the impulsive thoughts that come to his mind and then the platform he decides to share them.
Okay, so pedophilia is a mental condition. Do we give R. Kelly a pass for that?
Absolutely not. I didn't say I was giving Kanye West any pass. I said was I understand it. Like,
do you understand that pedophilia is a mental condition?
Yeah.
Do you understand that R. Kelly is attracted to young girls because he can't help it?
No,
I don't. I'm not saying this
don't-
is my opinion. I'm just
subscribe
drawing
to that.
the comparison.
It's just like me saying like I have the urge to smack the fuck out of people occasionally, but I don't for obvious reasons.
But if it was okay to smack the fuck out of people,
I would smack the fuck out of people.
If it were legal. Okay, so, and I have a coworker who's from Mexico. She didn't see nothing wrong with the R. Kelly situation because in Mexico it's legal to marry somebody at, I think she said 12. So she didn't see a problem with it because she said it was consensual, but in this country it's illegal. So where's the line?
and that used to be the norm in this country. Elvis was dating.
My grandmother
14,
was
15.
married when she was 13 or 14. Not my great grandmother, not my mom's mom, but my mom.
I would like to hear an older person's take on R. Kelly. Like a 50, 60, 70-year-old.
First of all, I'm not about to have you play my mama out here and say that 50 is old.
That's why I went up to 70.
Hey, talking about motherfucking, what was the word?
What?
What's
Elderberry?
Elderberry.
Hey, nah, chill. Nah, dude.
Oh my God.
How your mom doing?
I hate you.
My bad, girl.
You know you go.
No, I would like to hear an
Talk
older
about my
person
mama.
speak about this subject. And because it was normal back then, so I want to know if they're like, oh, the nigga was just getting some pussy. Or if they would be like, nah, it's disgusting.
I
You
mean,
know what I'm saying?
I think when it comes to a lot of things that are deemed illegal, like that can be an excuse for anything. Like in most countries, it's legal to drink at 18, but here it's illegal to drink until you're 21. So if you have somebody giving kids liquor at 18, you would look at them weird. But if you go to Paris and you see the same thing, that's the culture.
It's the same niggas like smoking weed now. You see they decriminalizing it. It was
I
put
think
down upon last year. Like it was still illegal.
the episode hadn't came out. We don't even know if that part is going to make it to what we put out. When I was asking the officers about their line of legality, I guess I'm saying that shit right, and like morality. Like for me, it is immoral to fuck around with a young person just because they aren't fully developed mentally.
Yeah.
So a person of a certain level of prestige can influence a young girl to do anything that they want.
Is that not a slippery slope though to say that at 18 you are developed mentally?
No, what I'm saying, I'm just saying it's immoral to take advantage of somebody who clearly isn't. There's no day we wake up and feel, eureka, we got it all together. There's not an age for that.
Right.
But what we can continuously identify is that lack of. You can typically walk into a room full of 8th graders and know they shit ain't firing on all cylinders. They just feel a little weird in the pants right now, and that's all their attention's on. Yeah. So R. Kelly, who is weird in the head, can capitalize on them being weird in the pants, and he go off with somebody's kid across the country and tell him he gonna make him a star.
And I say, man, the way you can really know, and I agree with what he's saying, is anybody that's over 25, go into a mall on a Saturday at like 7, 8 o'clock, and you're going to see the high schoolers that's there, and you're going to think to yourself, why the fuck am I here? Like, it's not that they're weird, but you just like, what are they doing? Like, they act different than we act when we were a little bit older, and then you sit back and you think like, damn, I was doing some of the same stuff. That shit was dumb. And I think that what he's saying is like, I know somebody that is extremely close to me that when they were 16 dated somebody that was 25. That is extremely close to me.
Yep.
And when me and this person had the conversation, they was like, I didn't think nothing was wrong about it, right? And then I remember us having a conversation about R. Kelly. And I was like, man, you got some fucking nerve when you was dating R. Kelly. And like, it was like, she didn't even think about it. She was even like, it was nothing that even crossed her mind. She was like, damn, that nigga was nasty.
Did she have kids at this point?
I had somebody extremely close to me tell her son, excuse me, she told him to get them young so you can groom them into the woman you want to be.
What?
And that's what Woody Allen did.
How old was this woman?
Basically.
I'm going to say early 50s.
Wow.
Early 50s. And this was somebody my age. This was her son was my age, and I was in the same room with them. And I've noticed how that, I guess that conversation has influenced his moves and the way he does shit now. So it's really just about what's okay to, I don't know, is that a generational thing? Like we just spoke about, like my great-grandmother was 15-something years old, and a lot of what you say, our aunties and all the aunties keep R. Kelly afloat.
Man, fuck that. You hanging with pedophiles?
No.
I really do question that though. How much of our
morality
is
just to clear
based
that
on
He didn't say that. He didn't seem like he was upset about it.
How much of our morality is based on legality, and how much of our morality is truly based on our personal ethics?
But I think, do you feel like cancel culture is based off the same thing?
I think so.
Do you think cancel culture is based on legality, or do you think it's based on morality?
I think it's based on society.
Ooh, so you think it's secular?
I don't know.
I think that it is all political. I think cancel culture is all political.
Like,
what's politically correct,
Yeah.
what is politically appropriate, what's politically acceptable. There's a big.
Then
I don't know.
Then why wasn't Empire guy canceled?
Terrence Howard or
No,
Jesse
he's talking about
Smollett?
Jesse.
Yeah,
Jesse
I
Smollett.
don't know if he can say names.
I don't care.
Yeah,
Why
was he not canceled?
Because
Who did he offend?
He didn't do nothing to me.
Who did he offend?
He didn't do nothing to me. Pissed off a couple of officers. He didn't do shit to
You
me.
don't feel like that he.
No, I'm asking.
If as a black male I feel offended.
Okay,
And
so do I.
I have gay friends that felt offended because he weaponized being black and being gay to get a point across.
Oh no, it was really some. I wouldn't say get a point across.
Or to do whatever he wanted to do.
I was going to say, what did he accomplish with that? Like, what was he trying to do?
I think in order to be canceled, for one, we can't say that he is or he isn't, because I guess the point of canceling is to fuck up your money, to ruin some relationships, fuck up some employments. He's off the show, right? And that's all the nigga was really on.
But
I think he was off temporarily.
I think he was off. He was gonna get off anyway. But I promise you, if they announce tomorrow, hey, he going back on Empire, the fucking show would fucking blow.
So maybe
I think so.
Maybe the industry is a cancel culture.
I think that the cancel culture is all trendy, fatty type. I don't know if fatty's a word, but it's a fad.
Yeah.
To where
Is it
it's
specific to Black Twitter? Like, is cancel culture only in
Well,
our...
if we can't come together to how are we gonna come together and cancel some shit?
I do not believe so, because we're gonna pace it out. But I think cancel culture is huge in the
certain age range of people. To me,
I don't think so. I think cancel culture. I don't want to get there yet. I'm trying to see how long I can keep stirring the pot before I get to this point. I don't know if y'all gonna agree with me on it or not, but we'll see. Goddammit. So I think that it's all like trendy. I don't want to say it's just Black Twitter. I think that it has a lot to do with what we see. Like your Facebook feed, your Twitter feed will be like the people that you follow and the stuff that you're searching for. So you'll see a lot of that. If you have a lot of viewpoints and there are similar, like algorithms will find you. So if you think that you are, I don't know, whatever the fuck you're searching for, like we talked about in previous episodes, whatever you're looking for or trying to prove, you can find evidence for it, whether it's true, false, or indifferent. So I feel like maybe we ingratiate ourselves in black culture, so that's all the counseling we see. But I think it's way bigger than that, because I want to say Me Too is cancel culture, but it is. I think it's like
it's turned to that.
I think it's it's the
yeah.
alternate form of like, that's the easiest way to get you the fuck out of here. If you Me Too, that's like cancel culture can have anybody for saying anything, but Me Too is like bona fide.
Women are coming, like women, all the women are
out of
coming.
there.
And I'm happy we got a woman here, because I think that's the biggest form of. Let me just.
Nah, talk that shit.
I think, oh man, like I think it's.
Tell how you really feel. Don't try to censor this shit.
This nigga ain't said nothing.
No, but I mean,
at all.
okay, like
On every other show I have,
the original. Let me put it this way: the original purpose of the movement, from what I've been told and from what I've done a little bit of reading on, was pure. But what it is now is fucking stupid.
But I think people have realized that with Aziz Ansari, his situation, where they put out this article trying to Me Too him. Are y'all familiar with what happened
He's a
with him?
comedian who consensually got some pussy and she didn't like it.
I don't think they had sex.
Oh, he had a dick suck, right?
No, he didn't even do what.
Did he get his dick sucked or not?
I just know
I don't
how
know
he.
facts.
It was because he came on real aggressive in the beginning, and that's what she didn't like.
What's aggressive?
But-
Exclamation points? Like, what the fuck do you mean? What's aggressive?
So I have not read the article since the story first came out.
Hey, I read the article when it came out, and I was kind of confused because I thought he raped something or took something or.
Yeah, but then
But
and
he did.
that didn't
So,
happen.
but I feel like that situation kind of, made people take a step back and say, hey, we can't just say, it's like, is this really
He a
that
bitch ass nigga though,
situation?
because he got on his next stand up and apologized for everything as if he did something wrong. I think if you don't, I think if people who are innocent don't stand up for themselves, which kind of blur the lines a little bit, because if I'm guilty, I can take that same stance.
But maybe he feels like, okay, I was wrong for not reading that she was uncomfortable.
Nah, that's bullshit.
But that's bullshit, because, like, how do you really know? Well, I'm not going to say how do you know if she's uncomfortable, but.
If, like, it kind of goes back to the if you didn't feel like you did anything immoral, and you, like, what we really trying to accomplish? Are you trying to embarrass him? Are you trying to talk about a personal situation? Are you trying to sue him for some money? Or are you trying to
attention.
You know what? I want to ask a female right now. When we don't talk about current events, but we keep mentioning the shit that's going on in the world right now. When a woman or a situation is brought up and there is a civil suit and not a criminal one, instantly, I'm not saying I don't believe that woman, but it makes me give her the side eye a little bit. Am I wrong?
I don't have that opinion. I mean, what's the question?
If there's a Antonio Brown right now.
Are you asking me if I feel that way?
Like, as a woman, and I'm coming to you not as your friend, but just as a male who's a little skeptical about the amount of like lawsuits that don't, with no criminal implications at all. It's just a money play, which is a right for somebody to do, and especially because civil suits are the margin of the burden of proof isn't as heavy. So if the jury or the judge feels like it's possible, there could be a payout. If the person
in a civil suit,
in a civil suit, in a criminal suit, you have to prove guilt or innocence. In a civil suit, it's just literally a reasonable doubt. So it can literally be.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
You gotta know this?
No, I do, but I'm just hearing you say that shit out loud. It's like, it's fucked up.
No, all I have to do is make it plausible, like on MythBusters. Like all I have to go, he was there that night. That's it. And it could be a situation to where I'm like, man, fuck it. I'm the one with money. I'm gonna have to pay her fees, her lawyer fees, my lawyer fees. I could just say, man, bitch, take this check and
Get out my face.
yeah, get out my face. And I say, bitch, I think if somebody is going to that extent and the person is innocent, I can say bitch in that situation. I solemnly swear to call women and bitches. I think that's fair. So as a man who and I love fucking women. I ain't shit without women, but I'm giving them the side eye when situations like that happen where there's a civil situation and not a criminal one. Am I wrong?
I don't think you're wrong in thinking that. I mean, I don't think that's necessarily my opinion, just because you never know people's intention for filing a civil suit versus a criminal suit. Because, I mean...
I say lock all the motherfuckers up. I really do. If somebody is doing... I got daughters, nothing but daughters. And somebody was to violate them, we're not going to court. Yeah, this motherfucker better be... This
like,
motherfucker,
I don't think you're wrong for thinking
he has to be in jail or I'm going to be in jail.
Right. Yeah, I don't think you're wrong for thinking that, but I don't think I feel strongly enough to have that same opinion, because you just never know people's situations and what the motive is.
If you're doing a civil suit opposed to doing a criminal suit, you know what the motive is.
But do you have that? I don't know. It's almost like some people just don't have that much faith in the justice system to feel that, okay, if I file this criminal suit, it's gonna be, maybe I'll just do it in civil court and get it over with. I mean, you never know.
If you file criminal charges against someone, can you afterwards? Because you filed.
Yes, you can file both.
There it is.
It's not an either or.
It is right there. Come on, Jazz.
That's what happened with Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson,
let my nigga go.
His criminal. Damn it! I want to say they tried to get him with the civil first, and he was about to settle. And they was like, no, we're gonna do the criminal. He got proved innocent in the criminal court, and therefore he never had to do the civil court. They dropped the shit. So he didn't. Michael Jackson didn't pay nobody off. And
Wait, you're saying because he got found innocent in criminal court, he could not get?
No. They didn't pursue. They already lost. So it took.
But I thought you're saying
it'll be more advantageous.
Are they mutually exclusive?
They are mutually exclusive.
So why, because of this case was lost, they did not want to pursue civil still?
Ultimately, they did go back, and that's why they trying to sue and all that shit now with the documentaries and shit.
Nigga, bro, like,
hey man, that's
worth more than nothing.
I mean, the niggas and you can't get more canceled than motherfucking dead.
Dead. Like, what else you want?
Hey, no bullshit.
That's terrible.
That's true. What else do you want?
Hey, bro, come on. That's the clip that's gonna go viral.
Hey, no bullshit. I really feel like R. Kelly a slime ball, but his biggest sin was not dying sooner. He should have died.
Honestly, bro.
Bill Cosby should have just fucking died.
Nah, bro, their biggest thing is that they should have stopped. They got away with it. Like, they got away.
Oh, especially R. Kelly. That motherfucker.
They both got a. R. Kelly is the second coming of OJ.
Nigga, this guy got away with it.
He got away
he
with
was living like that was like drinking water to him. Like that, he had a sex tape for every day.
He got away with it and then made another classic that people play at the cookouts and people just forgot. Bruh. And he just kept doing it.
Nah, y'all are right. Y'all fucking right.
You got a nice pen, you can do that.
What about, I don't know all the details about, like I kind of read up on the Aziz Ansari, and I kind of read up on Bill Cosby, and I watched like a 3-hour, not the HBO shit, but I watched, I watched Arian Foster break down the Michael Jackson case, where he go through all the fucking details and transcripts of the actual court documents. And I don't think Michael did that shit.
I don't think he did it either.
I never thought he did it.
If you do, it's because of Michael. He's a fucking weirdo. He bleached his skin, he talk funny, he got a fucking Ferris wheel on his property. Like, that's fucking weird shit. I'm not gonna denounce that, but after they like, I'm listening to, they said this, boom, this was
so Arian Foster was proving the point that he believes Michael Jackson is innocent.
Yeah, but he didn't just
but
like.
Arian Foster does that. Arian Foster tries to make. I mean, he's like, he thinks whatever he thinks is true.
Nah, you gotta. Actually, he's gonna be a guest on this pod one day.
Arian Foster?
Yeah.
I don't want to be on it, but I want to talk to because he. Look, he made me mad about something.
She blocking blessings right now.
Hey, let's get the voice later. I don't want to hear that shit right now.
Hey,
hell no.
Because I got.
Hey, cut yours off. Somebody cut the mic off. Cut the mic off.
I gotta get
cut the mic off. Nah, we good.
I mean, and the thing is, knowing him, or not saying like I fucking know him, but knowing him, in the comments, like, he would have that dialogue with you. He don't. Like, he like gets up for that
I
shit.
respect him for that because he will always have the dialogue, but he always thinks he's right. It's like I want to listen to you so I can understand how stupid you are.
I mean, but that's
I got that problem.
that's nice.
You do have that
I feel like anytime you have, and I don't want to get too off topic, but anytime you have some form of intelligence, you always gonna feel like your side or your stance is right, and you're gonna defend that stance until.
But and we not. This is gonna be it. Everything that I've ever seen him stand for, or like have a point or a position, it's because he's done the research. And for anybody
he said
to go
that
through,
God is not real because the Big Bang Theory has been proven true, and when people tell him that the Big Bang Theory is not a theory because a scientific theory is a proven fact, well, how many scientific theories have been proven wrong?
okay, so for you to say that, and I'm just gonna say this from what I know, his stance on God is kind of weird to where he isn't like a complete atheist. He's just looking for more knowledge. And so when people say shit like that is scientific, he just consumes that as such. So he's looking for somebody to give him information so he can believe with full faith. That's it with that.
Yeah.
All right, no more Arian Foster talk.
Okay.
And that's just for me watching and having conversations. Like I get that.
I think actually that conversation, not like the Arian Foster conversation, but the sticking to your point and defending your point is all the cancel culture, though. Because when you think about it, like I said about the Jesse thing, like there's certain people that even after he came out as guilty, or not guilty, but after we all sat back and was like, oh, he probably.
We knew the nigga was bro. Okay, come on.
I'm saying like we was like, okay, that probably was a lie. Like people after that still was like, nah, y'all don't believe the Chicago police? How you gonna do this? Like
this one time, yes, I'm believing Chicago PD. Sorry.
And so I think I think cancel culture just as a whole is just sticking to what you quote unquote believe in, right, wrong, or indifferent.
I think that cancel culture, like you said earlier, may have started in pure. I think that's what you said. And I agree with that. And I think there is some good of it that comes of it. I think there is a sense of accountability. I like the fact that you can't just be reckless in your thoughts and your actions and somebody's going to hold you accountable. But there is a fine line to where it's bullying. And there's no sense of when does the redemption occur? When can somebody make a mistake and improve on their ways, learn from their errors, and be better?
Or when can we just see someone that's sick or incapable and just call it that?
But you
can't. I think when it comes to that, I feel like that's a slippery slope when you say that, because it's like then everybody's gonna claim that.
Yeah.
I mean, but we can, and then it's up to us to decipher. Okay, whether.
But who are we to say? Who are we?
Who are we to
Who
say?
are we to say he's sick right now?
Well, I don't subscribe to the pedophilia is a mental thing.
I mean, it is.
It is.
Everything is mental. Anything you do is mental.
And that's exactly what I was gonna say.
If anxiety is a mental disorder, how is pedophilia not?
You making my point. I feel like in the world of mental disorders, like what makes anything more? I'm distracted from my cell phone and I'm in the fucking traffic and the fuck? I need to keep my eyes on the road, right or wrong. Nobody's gonna say he was mentally fatigued from the amount of time he spent without his wireless device. And
this is a mental illness that it possibly affects the way you act on urges, how you control yourself when you have urges. It's like you have urges to go buy a Sprite or
like
go
alcoholism.
buy a Kindle. You have an urge to go and smoke a cigarette.
It's like you can tell a crackhead it's not good to do that.
I like vagina a lot. Like a lot.
Okay,
like a lot.
Have that at home, so what's the problem?
I don't have it. What I'm saying is, if people were not able to control their urges, I have an urge for money.
But you're not the next person. That's not fair. That's not fair to say if this person isn't able to control their urges.
I like money a lot.
And so do somebody who robbed a bank yesterday. You're not that person.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if I have the fortitude to decide not to make that decision, I'm not going to allow anybody else to get. Why aren't certain when we control certain impulses, it's deemed as regular as opposed to not? For me to get off or get somebody say it's a disorder, pedophilia, it's like, oh, you like pussy, like I like pussy, but I can
That's not fair.
It's because your
Why is
brain isn't. The illness is your brain not functioning properly. Your brain functions properly.
If I'm alcoholic,
so
if I'm alcoholic, I don't feel the same way about.
Let her talk.
Yeah, if I'm alcoholic, I don't feel the same way about you. And I'm gonna change it on something that was just spoken about before the podcast started. You said that you're into hamburgers and chicken more than you are sugar and candy, right? He doesn't.
Some shit before the podcast. Go ahead.
He doesn't have the same urgency towards sugar. If he has a Butterfinger and a hamburger in front of him, his urge to get that hamburger is going to be much stronger than to get that Butterfinger. You might have the opposite effect where you just love sugar and you have the urge to get that. You cannot say because I'm not going to go out here and have this urge towards whatever that the other person can just as easily as you control that.
Okay, I feel like that's fair. I also feel like what is fair is if somebody does have these urges that are uncontrollable, I feel as if they either themselves need to acknowledge they have a problem and seek solutions, or they should get all the condemnings they can get, whether it be jail or whatever.
Now, nobody said they were uncontrollable.
I'm just saying
they have
it's
a hard time.
For me, I don't think that's an excuse. If you have that issue,
It's not an excuse.
Yeah, it's not an excuse. It's not a fact.
Illness.
It's not an excuse. It's just a fact.
I have no empathy for it.
And no one says you should.
And so,
I'm not looking for empathy. Just I guess not even understanding, but just to know that. I don't know, bro.
I think y'all are you're looking for him to understand that.
I don't give a fuck.
I think we all agree on the same thing. It's just that I do have more empathy.
You know what I like pussy? You know what I like pussy a lot. You know what I like more than that? Easy pussy. Easy pussy's the best. You know what? That's the same thing. I feel like that's the pedophile ass niggas do preying on children.
No. That's not the same thing.
It's fucking this.
No, it's not, because it's like people that watch porn that like the little teeny porn versus people that like MILF porn. Like, it's the same shit. Like him, he likes MILF porn. But that's what, like, you have to, it's for you. You're saying everything is about control.
I feel like if you are,
but you have to realize that you have to keep that same stance for everything, right? If we were arguing about weed, right? If somebody came up to you and said, "Hey, I can't control not smoking," you would not feel as bad, even though they're both equally illegal.
They're not.
They are.
We just spoke on immorals type shit. I don't feel like smoking is immoral. I don't feel like.
He didn't say immoral. He said legal.
I said legal.
Oh, I don't give a fuck about something being legal.
But I'm saying they're both legal. They're both illegal, right? If somebody did that, you wouldn't feel. You'd be like, damn, that's kind of fucked up. Like, but you would not drill them in that, hey, I can control myself to not smoke or to not sell drugs or to not prostitute or not do whatever that's illegal. You wouldn't drill them down versus somebody saying it's a pedophile. And I understand why you're saying that pedophilia is a different level.
I only say that because legality isn't my moral compass. So I don't give a fuck if somebody does something illegal. I'm not gonna look at you if you say you got a crazy urge to fucking drive your car fast. I'm not gonna tell you breaking the law. I'm gonna tell you putting your life at risk. So I don't give a fuck about no law or something being illegal. That's just, I don't care. I'm more concerned about what's best for people, society, like, and so for somebody to act in such a manner, it's like I'm kind of like you said with Kanye West copping out to saying he's mentally this. I feel like just because Kanye West, as soon as he's Trump and we start to believe him, oh, maybe he's crazy. Oh, because R. Kelly's a genius, we can say, oh, he got a disorder in his brain.
But nobody said that. I don't think that's been. I've never heard anybody say
but not R. Kelly, but pedophiles.
No, but I think people
don't say that though.
People are with you and saying that, hey, this shit is wrong.
People do say that. That's how it's known a fact. No, I know it's a fact.
I think it's two separate conversations. People are saying you're wrong, you need to be punished. But people are also saying, in you being punished, we need to also give them help.
Yes.
That's what they're saying. So it's like, hey, it's like how people say we can send them to a psych ward. They're still in jail, but we're going to send them to get mental help while they're in jail. I think that's what people are talking about versus saying, hey, just lock them up and just do whatever.
Yeah, it was never don't lock them up. I always either lock them up or put them, get them the help that they need, or if they just can't be around motherfuckers and keep them in jail.
This isn't on topic, but just an elevated level of this conversation. How much of that burden do you feel like needs to go on that individual with that crisis going on internally, or society to have to weed these motherfuckers out, allow them to commit these crimes against humanity, and then they get the repercussions?
No, I mean,
no, go ahead.
I think it's nothing is ever gonna be perfect, but I don't think that, and I really don't like staying on pedophilia because I feel like this is just a sticky subject. But
I don't.
No.
This is a,
I don't like the niggas.
No, I'm just saying. But it's just like
it's pretty clear.
It's just like I feel like anytime you people feel like somebody has a mental imbalance, that they should be able to get help. Mm-hmm. They should still be punished for what they did because that's the law, but they should still be able to get mental help. So if you catch it before, it's like if somebody they have the suicide hotlines, or they have if you feeling like you might harm somebody, you can
that's
call
what
people.
I'm looking for.
Like you can call so if I feel like they might have hotlines, I'm not aware, I don't know that. Hey, I like little kids. Call this number to get some help or whatever. If you do that before, then obviously
that's a hell of an infomercial. It really is. These numbers.
And then when you say, if somebody were to take those steps, I can honestly say that's what my empathy would kick in. If somebody is like acknowledging I have an issue and seeking the help, I'm not really seeing it when we keep talking about R. Kelly or even like Bill Cosby. I don't think I don't know.
Not all of them.
Not all of them. Bill Cosby was fucking up somewhere.
Yeah.
In a major way. But I don't think he's like a serial rapist. There was a guy who played for the Saints. I think he was a safety.
Darren Sharper?
Was it Darren Sharper?
The one that's in jail?
He was like a serial rapist.
I mean, you can't say Bill Cosby would be.
We don't know.
Well, I don't know, but I don't from the information that I got.
Yeah.
And then people coming out and recanting their stories. I'm side on some situations, but there's no way I can get 100 women to agree on anything. But they come to one accord on that, something ain't right. That's all I can say about that.
If they do have these hotlines where you can go and if you have an issue controlling yourself around little kids, how would they get that information on? Like, would they put them at elementary schools? If they Google that shit, yo, I got a problem with when I see little kids. If they Google just that, they getting arrested. So how would they? I don't see how they would get help.
Yeah, cause I definitely know if you Google search a certain like childlike shit, they
gonna flag that shit.
Yeah,
so how would you even get help?
They have it. I don't
They
know
do?
how to find it. I've never Googled it, but I know
But
they
how
have
would
it.
they-
They
that's
have
what I'm
help for
saying.
that. Cause I'm like.
But I mean, I feel like even if you do Google it and they come for you, they should come for you because you have not committed anything, like committed a crime, I guess at that point, to try to get you help, not to try to just lock you up.
Oh yeah. I definitely feel like before any actions, I'm definitely inclined to help these people. But after,
But it's everybody else.
Better use
Because
I'm not
if
gonna
you
lie,
get
bro.
flagged just for saying that.
Better use a VPN. They gonna
Right.
bust the door down. You'll be typing.
But how do you get?
hey, you looking this shit up?
Yeah.
Yo,
Hey, I told you. I use a VPN.
Bruh, oh my God, Jazz is finna get arrested.
So what exactly did you put in Google search?
Psychological help for pedophilia.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, okay, you gotta figure out how to work.
Because one of us would put it there. Like,
How do I stop fucking kidding?
Motherfucking SWAT would have dropped.
Bust through the roof, SWAT team.
Oh, inspections would have been everywhere, nigga.
Bro,
what do I do if I like little boys and girls? Like,
but think about it. Okay, but look, people want to cancel these people. But is there really a way for them to get help without getting looked at a certain way? Where do they go? If you Google it,
Not in this today's society. I don't feel like there will be a level of judgment and condemnment. But I feel like what's worse, that judgment or those actions, those not So I mean, like I said, I'm gonna look at somebody completely different if somebody was actively looking for, assistance and whatever.
You're not watching my kids. But I'm saying if they really do have the issue, like how do they even get help for that? Is it even a priority to us as Americans? If we don't put infomercials just like we put shit for erection.
I don't feel like health in general, mental health, physical health, or none of that shit is a priority for Americans.
My nigga, yeah.
It's not a priority for Americans at all. Well, we don't want to get to. I don't think that's appropriate. We should be on cancel culture. Where are we at?
But it's about.
Let's wrap this up. Before we take it to the levels.
Let me tell you the only time I've ever felt like cancel culture worked appropriately and was handled appropriately was the first time people canceled Chris Brown, which was like what 09.
That's because social
That's not
media
cancel
wasn't
culture.
the
This
same.
nigga's popping right now.
No.
You talking about the
He
reality
made a
shit?
comeback after the
But what I'm saying is that initially people
I
stopped.
don't think that was. I think he was more so like blackballed in cancel culture.
I mean,
But
that's
blackball is
being canceled. That's basically in a way.
Honestly, yeah, that's what canceling is supposed to be.
It's like what they want to do with Kaepernick in the NFL. Like
Wait, chill.
Oh,
wait. Let me do what I do. Finish with the Chris Brown. I got something for you.
But they kind of stopped it so he could not be as big as he was. But they also let him redeem himself to a certain point.
Okay, there we go.
And then he messed up again. I guess you can say. I guess with Carucci, I don't know the whole story, but they said there was some issues there or whatever. But I think like, hey, you gotta serve your time. And then we gotta let you redeem yourself. I think this day's cancel culture, there ain't no redemption.
If you can't sing "Man in the Mirror," was it "Man in the Mirror" at the BET Awards?
He still got flagged for that. Yeah, it was Man in the Mirror.
Hey, that nigga got the boo-hooing.
But I
forgot about that.
At what point is it okay to separate a person's personal life from their art? It's like I can still like the work you put out, but I don't agree with what you're doing as a person. To what extent is that okay and what it's not? I
answered that question earlier for myself. Mm-hmm. I felt like by continuing to play R. Kelly or support him in any form or fashion was allowing that fucked up personal behavior to continue.
But what if if you're listening to it, but it's not benefiting him monetarily?
How isn't it? Anytime you listen to an artist, you get
jail.
Do you know how?
I mean, you can
bootleg.
I was gonna say, do you know how much?
I'll wire it, but I mean,
calm on right now.
I understand what you're saying, but for me, it's kind of like I almost saying like I'm okay with it when it's that level of like with R. Kelly. For me, it's kind of like saying I'm okay with his personal actions, but even though I think the music is great, I think for me, Kanye West, I was really struggling with like. Bro, he on some bullshit, and I really feel like he on some bullshit because
That's because his music suffered though.
I don't want to get on. I really like Kanye West, like a couple years away from starting a full-fledged cult. Like
you got the church.
A couple years away, y'all already a cult.
Who is y'all?
Oh, y'all.
I'm doing
Bro, I don't like he got.
He's not gonna join. He's gonna give everybody 3 pairs of Yeezys.
Bro, them hoes ugly as a bitch.
Bro, the 350 was his. Bro, you tripping?
I'm
going.
So in Bill Cosby's situation, right, where we cancel Bill Cosby,
brainwash,
but it affected everybody else who was getting royalty. Is that okay?
That's a good question. I may ask you. What we got on time? I think it's time to take it to the next level.
We're good.
I personally believe that Colin Kaepernick is not in the NFL, not because he was blackballed, but because of cancel culture. Let it resonate.
Because the NFL owners canceled him?
No, because the NFL owners didn't want the backlash from people who were anti-Kaepernick, and it kind of was like, nah, you bad for business, even if it's like, it's unnecessary noise. And so it's easier for us to just not fuck with you. Maybe you ruffled some feathers, but it was forgivable. But I honestly think the backlash they were afraid of, because the one side, it was louder on the other. I think the support for something isn't, that frequency doesn't seem to reach as high as the anger from something. I feel like the fear of angering and pissing folks off kept Colin Kaepernick out of the NFL more than any blackball could have.
Yeah, in the past, but I think right now, if somebody signed Kaepernick, that'll bring a lot of attention.
I think it's so far removed from that. I think you said that maybe a year ago. Now we on like year 3, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, it's been that long. So now it's kind of just like
about time.
The dust settled.
Yeah, I think it'll get an initial like 1 or 2 week push, and then if he like does well.
He's gonna do well.
Or
we don't know that.
But if he doesn't do well, he just fade into the black.
So I'm not a football fan, right? I don't know. I remember when he played football. I know he was. I was about to say number 49. No, he was on the 49ers.
Yes.
Oh God. Not have a woman here talking about sports. This is not what we wanted you here for.
Okay. So, was he a good quarterback?
Made it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He was 1 point away from winning a Super Bowl.
It's blatant.
He is not a good quarterback. He is one of the best 32 players at his position.
So he is.
He should be in the NFL.
How many teams is he?
32.
He should be in the NFL.
He's better than 16 players, and he's better than 16 quarterbacks.
Okay. No.
Oh, you're saying top 50%?
Yeah,
I thought you were saying one of the top 52. I'm like, how does? Top 32.
You know what I'm saying?
All of them top 32.
I'm saying he should have a starting job.
Easily.
So he's good enough at his job for it to be a blatant non-hiring.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you a fan of any sports?
Basketball.
Okay, so who you feel like is the best player in the NBA?
Right now?
Yeah, just period, I guess.
Just for put so much juice on Colin Kaepernick, but I'm
No. Best player. Like if you had 10 superstars,
kind of person.
so you're a Rockets fan?
I'm a Rockets fan.
So you like James Harden, right?
Huh?
You like James Harden,
I
right?
do.
So let's say James Harden is number 1,
Okay.
right? And let's say who you think would be like Blake Griffin?
He ain't Blake Griffin.
He's not. Don't do
No. I'm saying like let's say
As far as like a 5 or
let's say
4?
Blake Griffin is 10,
Are we
right?
talking about like? What
I'm saying like so you have James Harden, that's the level of superstar. You have Blake Griffin, who is I think is the tier below, and then.
Oh, you're talking about levels.
I would say Colin Kaepernick is like a motherfucking. Do I want to say like I want to say Jamal Crawford.
No,
He's better than
I
that.
say Vince Young before Jamal Crawford.
like old Vince.
I mean,
Young?
not Vince Young. I say Vince Carter.
Carter? No, I don't think he's that good.
I would give him.
Vince
No.
Carter.
So would he
Vince
be
Carter.
all first team or all second team?
No, he's
Nah.
not. He's
But
not
he'll
that
be,
good.
he'll be the top. If it's 32 teams, he'll be top
He's
10.
going to make a. No, he's not top 10.
in the league.
He's
In
not.
quarterbacks.
He's not.
He's PJ Tucker.
He's PJ Tucker.
If he's PJ Tucker, then
But Colin Kaepernick's not that good. He deserves to be in the NFL.
Yeah. It's like-
He's not an all-star.
That's
He's
what
not
I
an
said.
all-pro. He's not a fucking
PJ
pro bowler.
Tucker can play defense. He can shoot the 3. But if you talking about like, hey, I need 5 players, you're not like, ooh, like PJ Tucker's like.
And I also feel
if
like
it's PJ Tucker, then it's like, okay, well maybe he's not worth it enough to cause all this controversy.
exactly.
But you feel like if they blackball PJ Tucker, you be like, bro, he deserved to be in the league.
So if he was Kobe
Oh, he was called
in football, do you think he would have been hired?
Absolutely.
Yes.
By now.
Or if he left, if this would have happened after his Super Bowl year.
And I don't want to get into too deep of particulars, but Colin Kaepernick had a job, wanted more money out of his contract, and then test free agency. So it wasn't like they just like cut him.
He was like, the nigga
He was like, no, I want my freedom. Got his freedom, and then nobody resigned him. He had a couple of situations. He didn't want to be a backup. He didn't want to be in certain situations, and so it like prolonged. And from my understanding, from what it looks like, he ain't really said shit, but his girlfriend keeps saying everything.
He's so vocal.
Yeah.
And she,
I can't respect that, bro. If you're not saying nothing and you took a check,
Bro, that's why he's not
Nigga,
saying
talk
nothing.
to me.
He took the check.
no, but bro,
There's no reason
then his girlfriend should
and-
shut the fuck up.
and-
She should stop talking.
Well, she talks for a living.
nah, she
Quit.
That's her job.
Hey, I have strong. I don't know, not on the inside, but I feel like if she wasn't doing what she's doing, he'd probably be in a better off position. He may feel good internally.
I just feel like saying that he's not hired because of cancel culture is such an overgeneralization. I feel like there's a lot more.
No, it's definitely variables that are playing. But I think because of the outrage and because of what social media is doing to businesses, to entities, to people, individuals. They bringing shit down.
That's what I think it has a lot more to do with is financial interest.
Absolutely.
More than just like what society is saying is good or bad about.
And so ultimately, the NFL, if anything that people can tangibly cancel, would be the NFL. Whether you like just by turning your TV off and fuck up some Avenue dollars, or just by not tuning into that shit. So I feel like, I mean, you may not listen to somebody's song, or you may not go to this business, but you wouldn't fucking with them anyway. It's like when we canceled Gucci. Whoop-de-fucking-do.
Nobody canceled Gucci.
I was gonna say I just bought Carrie some Gucci cologne for Christmas.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That's why.
But
that's what the
after I
was.
bought it, I remembered that it was canceled and I felt bad.
But it's like what
But why did
take
you
it back?
hold on? But why did you feel bad?
Because cancel culture.
Cancel culture.
But is there anything that like I always think about it like this, right? What is like the three things that's most important to your life, right? If somebody said, hey, the maker of cell phones called all of us in here niggers, and your employer, we probably get paid, but if it was some way they said something about black people or whatever, like what would y'all go through? Would y'all cancel your cell phones? Would y'all cancel your cars?
So is it Samsung that said?
No, I'm just saying.
No, he's speaking directly to you. Whatever you use, your
Whatever.
Samsung,
Okay,
your iPhone,
I mean, whoever makes the screen, because everybody gets the same screen. So whoever made the screen said, "Hey, man, this ain't for niggers." Like people cancel things that don't affect them. So when people wanted to cancel Gucci, or was like, "Oh, I'm a." Like they can't wear Gucci.
So which one was Gucci? Gucci was the hoodie that looked like blackface.
But it had already been out.
No, it was a turtleneck, right?
But people also didn't cancel Beyonce, who had wore something similar years before.
Black people can do
Beyonce
blackface.
is damn near.
Black people can do it.
We don't get that.
But I follow you.
Like it's you. I think cancel culture is so selective on things that don't affect you. The reason why Kanye West affected people were hesitant to cancel Kanye is because that directly affects them. That's my favorite artist. I don't want to give up. The same thing with R. Kelly. Damn, I love Step in the Name of Love. I Believe I Can Fly. I don't want to Bill Cosby. I love the Cosby Show, bro. Like
I just don't have that. I don't have that internal fight. Like I am very good at differentiating. Like this music, this song don't have nothing to do with he did. I don't support him. I will never support him financially, but I don't feel bad listening to his music. I don't. I really don't.
Nah, I feel creepy, bro. It's just I feel like when
And maybe
you can't listen to R. Kelly and not feel some type of way. Like
you just hear it different.
because I really feel like I'm good at separating those two things.
Seems like you ready. That's that.
it's not even a music. It's like I like my favorite R. Kelly song is When I'm Almost Fed Up. I love that song, but when I hear it, it's just like my enjoyment of this is keeping motherfuckers in lock and key.
I don't even think about that. So Seems Like You're Ready, yeah, I would probably think about
just
that.
hear it
But I don't
different.
listen to Seems Like You're Ready.
That's one of my
That's
favorite
why I haven't had
songs.
that thought. I'm listening to, like, The World's Greatest is one of the best songs in the world to me.
I'm that little bit of hope. Trash. No.
I Believe I Can Fly. These are very inspirational, uplifting songs.
I watched Ali the other day.
I can't take that away from that song and the way that it makes me feel because he had poor judgment.
So if Hitler came back and dropped the mixtape and it's fire.
Well, I wouldn't listen to it because I didn't know. I wouldn't know that it's fire because I wouldn't listen to it in the first place.
Hey, I'm saying this.
But that point has already passed.
I think
we're already past that point with R. Kelly.
Hitler gave was one of the best orators ever.
Hitler gave?
Hitler gave. I was gonna say he gave great speeches, but then I backtracked and said he gave great speeches. He wrote great books. They move a humongous amount of people into
That's why he
call
got
to
the influence
action.
he did, yeah.
Call to action. Are we gonna sit here and claim that he's a great, speaker?
He was a great speaker.
A great author? No, bro. That just
Why? Because he has a different opinion than you. Does that take away from his ability to create art?
no. It's not this ability to take. Oh, we talking about Hitler? Or we talking about art? Because for me,
So we're talking about Hitler. His ability to speak and move people, that's a talent. He was good at that. I'm not taking that away from him because he was an evil person.
And you know how he used that talent?
He was an
in
evil
the same
person.
way I feel R. Kelly is. I feel
but
like R.
I'm
Kelly
saying,
has leveraged that
if
talent.
we had come, but like I said, we already passed that point with R. Kelly. Hitler was in 45. We know what he did before that happened. Before we
We
was
knew
born.
we knew what R. Kelly did.
When-
You,
I
20 years ago.
how old are you? How old are you?
No, I'm not.
I'm pretty
We
sure
all,
I
we
saw
all,
it.
we all, we
I'm
all the
saying,
same age.
No, I'm saying the first impression of Hitler was evil monster. Our first impression of R. Kelly was musical genius. First impression. We already had that impression in our heads. So yeah, if you tell me now Hitler did XYZ, I don't care because he's Hitler. For some people, if R. Kelly did XYZ when he Tape came out and then Step in the Name of Love came out, I don't care. He's R. Kelly. It's the same thing.
I think eventually that cup runs over or that well runs dry. Whichever one you want to say.
I think it's run dry for most people. That's why he's in the position that he is now.
For me, it's only, you're only going to give as much rope as you're allowed. So that doubt, like, nah, R. Kelly wouldn't, that was because he was good.
So is it cool now since he got what he was supposed to?
That was because he was a genius for me.
I mean, but it's the same
And then once
thing. We're saying the same thing, but it's just you can't. I feel like you can't see it in the opposite light. Like Hitler was a terrible person. He was good at what he did. R. Kelly was I don't know if R. Kelly was. I never met him, but I don't know if. Damn it, I don't know if Hitler was a terrible person.
Bruh.
He did some terrible things. I'm not gonna look.
But no, it's fair.
But he did some terrible things that affected
and
the world.
And to be honest, we don't really know if he did it. We just know what was told.
Yeah, I mean, you can't.
That's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure that nigga.
So I think those two situations are the same thing. They did terrible things.
But I'm
they
saying
were good at what they
it's
did.
all. I mean, at the end of the day, it's really when it comes to it's like this is why I still like if he did it, and that you can say this
R.
about
Kelly.
R. Kelly, Hitler, whatever. I feel like you have to either like I don't feel there's a middle ground, but I feel like you should draw a line in the sand to where I'm not really looking for the good in the evil. I'm just not.
What else are we supposed to? If R. Kelly likes little girls and we arrest him for it and he's in jail, we can't listen to his music now. We got him. We canceled his ass. He's in jail. We can't listen to his music.
I personally don't feel like his contributions to music are the difference. I don't feel like that. You could remove him and music could still happen. I don't feel like he is any kind of.
Is there
Okay,
any
so what,
situation?
is there any, so what happened to Drake?
Yeah.
What happened to Drake?
That's anybody. You
I
can remove Drake.
are you-
You
are you-
can remove
exactly.
Jay-Z. Music will still happen. That's
Exactly.
anybody.
That's what I'm saying. Like I have a love for music, not for R. Kelly or not for Jay-Z or not. I like music, and I feel like somebody can fill that void not as well, maybe not across the, maybe for not as long, maybe not as dependable. I'll say that, but my void will be filled in some form or fashion. So I don't feel the need to put him there.
It's not the need. It's like,
I
what else do you
have an
want?
analogy that I want to ask so bad, but I can't.
Why?
because
You can say whatever you want.
People will hear
It's
this
a safe place.
and judge me.
They don't know your middle name. They don't know.
We
your
all about to get judged. We talking about pedophilia.
Yeah.
We gonna talk about Hitler.
I'm gonna be judged for real because I
Hey,
said I don't know if
I'm
he was a terrible person.
I agree
with you.
I said Cal
Okay.
wasn't that good.
And me,
I was talking about-
I am only drawing this analogy because of what you just said
Oh,
and
she
because of what you
got
said
the
earlier.
Say that shit.
I am not a sick person in the head, and this is not the analogy
We
that I
know
would
that,
have brought
Jazz.
up, and unless the Jamian didn't specify
Yeah,
what
say
his
that
vice
shit.
was. So
Say that
okay,
shit.
you said that you are a lover of music. So if you didn't have this particular music, then you'll be fine.
Mhm.
He said,
You said that you. Oh God.
tell me what he said. No, go ahead.
She finna.
I feel so uncomfortable
roast your
saying
ass.
this.
She
Say that
reaching.
shit.
She reaching.
She not reaching. Let us know
She
she
knows
really
she
not.
reaching. That's what's pulling her back.
Nah.
So-
say that shit. She trying to be PG.
I am trying
Nah,
to
fuck
be PG.
that.
Rated R.
See?
No, we.
So I just wish you said that. I just wish that earlier. I wish you said you loved something else other than what you said that you loved.
I
But
said money and pussy.
And weed.
so maybe I can use money instead.
Would you say like my love for vagina make me like act desperate and do weird things or take vagina or?
Yeah. So if you didn't have if you just met the best one in your life and like there's other fish in the sea.
I already got 2 answers for this.
Okay, go ahead and answer. No, I don't even want to ask you.
No, you gotta ask this shit.
I don't feel comfortable.
Say that. I know. I see you say it. Say that shit, Jay.
But y'all already know what I'm trying to ask.
I honestly don't know what you're
I don't want. Don't make me put words in my mouth. I just want to. Where you getting at?
She looking at the camera.
Say that shit, strong, independent black woman.
Okay.
Okay, I'll just say.
Are you insinuating or like trying to allude to ask me what extent would I go for?
I'm drawing.
If they're like a kid or something.
No, I'm drawing a similar analogy. Whereas, if you have this R. Kelly, if this particular great song,
paint the picture. Come on, I'm with you.
Is not, you know.
Right now we a little abstract. I'm not really seeing
because I don't want to say it. Y'all, I feel pressured right now.
Well, because we want you to just say it. Come on, bro. You can't cancel us on the
You are letting people down right now. Not us.
I know. I should never started saying nothing in the first place.
You gotta finish it.
And I have to answer.
I hung myself as soon as I opened my mouth.
Bro, if you want to cancel yourself on this show and not come back after you say this, you can do whatever you want. Say this shit.
Or and they gonna never want you back here again. She won't even speak her mind.
That's fine.
See, you know what we sound like right now? You know how like they were like, oh, we be trying to manipulate women to do our bidding.
I'm waiting for the analogy. I really don't know where you was.
Because I feel as if you think it was good, it's just inappropriate.
And that's what we love that. Say that shit.
Nah, he ain't said nothing inappropriate yet. I'm saying inappropriate shit all the time here.
I talk about niggas getting neutered.
Are you asking that, because I'm trying to piece some things together, are you asking that if music and vagina was taken away from him, how would he act to get it?
No, because what I feel like you were saying is you can do without, you feel like R. Kelly music was great, right? But
10 out of 10.
But you could do without it.
Because my love for music supersedes the love for R. Kelly.
So...
And I can find some 10 out of 10. I think what made R. Kelly so great was the consistency.
So if women are wiped off the face of the earth and your love for their anatomical parts.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, I already had 2 answers.
Alright, and that was wiped off the face of the earth, and then all you had left over was like a fleshlight.
Oh, what?
Is that like I'm 6 of them. So would you feel comfortable giving up that for that? This is just me trying to filter my question. It's not the best analogy.
Yeah, I think you may have had something good. I think you should have asked it right there in the moment, and you probably would have caught me off guard. But not really, because as soon as you took away my vagina, I looked down at my palm.
I was like, look, please don't take my head.
But it's not the same, right?
I always had these.
But it's not the same because you've always had them. So why do you need a woman?
I'm just saying, it's like the next step down is.
Jasmine trying to make us turn gay since high school.
I'm just saying.
So I'm questioning our man.
I mean, I'm completely. So I got 2 of them.
Okay, I just feel like this one off the rails. Let's just bring it back.
Please don't take women off the earth.
I'm just saying this dream, like.
I just feel like if you feel like it's that good, then. But I understand your motive. I understand the motive is morally to you. It has to be. So you have to eliminate R. Kelly music.
Yeah, yeah.
So I understand your motive, but I guess. I'm just trying to piece it together.
I don't feel as strongly as I did prior to his arrest.
What else you want?
I mean, now that he's arrested, it's kind of like, whatever.
So now you're listening.
No, I'm not.
So I don't understand.
Because life went on, and I stopped listening to that motherfucker, and I'm not just. I honestly, wholeheartedly, was not a part of on some hypebeast counsel R. Kelly shit. I never felt comfortable listening to that shit. Once I understood as an adult. After I didn't play R. Kelly since.
So when you stopped listening to him? I just think a lot. The last party we played 4 R. Kelly songs.
You was a motherfucking lie.
3.
This nigga's see. I I don't understand the need to
Go ahead, bro. When's the last time you listened to R. Kelly?
Definitely thought I heard Step in the Name of Love.
I thought I did.
I don't know what kind of theme song's going through y'all head when you walk in the room for yourself. If that's your theme song, nigga, then so be it.
Side to side.
The last time bruh, honestly, probably around Trapped in the Closet. That's exactly.
That's the
last time you listened to R.
That was the
Kelly?
last time.
In middle school?
That was the last time I listened
That's
to
the last time I went.
That I actively
Well, that's
R. Kelly.
He had a song on Cruel Summer.
Oh no! The last time was the one that he did with Usher. Same girl.
Nah, he had a song on Good Music.
Oh,
Tape.
I ain't listened to that shit.
I ain't never listened to
You listen to that
that.
Good Music?
I listened to that, but I ain't never listened
I was
to
already
it.
off
I
my
didn't
game
care
by
about.
the
I didn't care about this.
Well, I think that's
Okay.
probably why it didn't affect y'all much, because to me, R. Kelly, like I actually like actively listen to him. Whenever I would say my top 3, R. Kelly's always been in my top 3 before.
You know,
all this
eventually a
stuff
midget came along, right?
happened. Yeah, I
Bro,
know.
we
I
talking about R.
watched the
Kelly
whole
too
thing.
much, big.
Yeah, I watched the whole
Jesus.
thing.
R. Kelly.
But I think maybe that's the difference. It's because R. Kelly really was actively a playlist in my life. So maybe that's the difference. Where I still think that he did terrible things and I will never support him monetarily. But I just am able to separate this work was great.
I sound like she don't know what being a black auntie.
I know. I'm not just saying that because I love, like, Kanye West is my 3. Like, 3. I think Lil Wayne, Jay-Z, if they all fell victim to the shit, they gone. I'm good. I'm fine. I can find that.
Find another yay?
I can find, like,
Would you go listen to Travis Scott?
bro, Kanye West stole Kanye West stole. Kanye West is Majin Buu, nigga.
What? He just took stuff and curated it.
He absorbed Kid Cudi.
Nah, he's who's that, Shank's son?
That nigga absorbed Kid Cudi.
Don't even get it.
Travis Scott.
He gave Travis Scott some powers.
He didn't really take it.
He actually
He gave them a platform for them to get bigger. Cause he used them on one tape and then they blew up and made better tapes after that.
Nah,
That's what Drake did.
that's what all artists. That's what Jay-Z did.
I don't think Jay-Z is like Drake is like Sale. Drake is Sale. He ain't like quite Majin Buu.
No.
Kanye West is Majin Buu.
Kanye
Kanye West is turning niggas to chocolate out here and absorbing them. You know why Chance put out that bullshit ass tape?
Oh Lord.
But that's one out of.
Oh, you gonna
Because Kanye West fucking came through. It's like,
Leave Chance alone, bro.
Kanye want chocolate! Kanye want chocolate! And fucking turned.
Ultra me.
And he just absorbed that nigga. Kanye West just be absorbing niggas. Kanye West is my number 3 of all time. But Kanye West just be, that's who he is. That's who he is. I don't think Drake that bad, bro. Drake not that bad. Drake, Party Next Door, whatever.
Weekend.
Nah, Weekend is like, he didn't absorb that nigga.
He tried to.
Take Care was all Weekend.
That's what he tried, but Weekend was like, bro.
Take Care's his best album.
Take Care is his best album. And that's all the Weekend.
I don't agree. But
What's his best?
If you say anything, I have to take Care and punch you in the stomach.
Exactly.
I think Take Care is his most.
I like Nothing Was the Same.
I like that one more too.
I like Nothing Was the Same, and I think if you're reading this, then it's too late.
That was good, but on a different
than
type.
Take Care.
I didn't like that.
But it wasn't.
I didn't like it reading it too late.
Take Care was
I'm
somewhat
not-
of a classic.
I don't like singing Drake, but I want to have this rap conversation so bad. But I know we can't.
Bring it up top.
Oh,
Cancel culture. Just pull it back.
I'm
up.
just saying. Well, I guess we're talking about Kanye and whatever. We got off topic like motherfucker. That's what they say we do a lot. They got to love us for it.
I have a reason. I'm scatterbrained. I don't know what the hell from a child.
Always.
But this is how you know these conversations are real.
Okay,
Because
so
I know shit.
just to take it to a new level, we talk about cancel culture and getting niggas the fuck out of here. We didn't really divulge too much on the Colin Kaepernick situation, a lot, but just a sense of getting niggas the fuck out of here. I think the main purpose Jazz was here today, she stole the mic and ran with it because she had when we talking about gentrification, and I don't know if we need to define that for our audience. Are we all aware today of what gentrification is?
So we're talking about a dictionary definition?
Would that be more insightful than some niggas just telling what they think about it?
Maybe.
Do your Googles and do it.
Yeah, I think we need the actual definition because.
Nah, I think that kind of for me. Would that be more helpful? Because you would get a whitewashed version of gentrification.
But gentrification can be more than just somebody white doing it.
What we take it.
So the process
That's true.
of renovating and improving a house or district so that it conforms to middle class taste.
Oh no, that's it.
I like that a little bit. But
Yeah, I didn't cringe when you read it.
I didn't. I mean, conforms to middle class taste.
I think the issue in that definition that people are going to hear is that when people hear gentrification and you say that definition, people just assume that black people can't conform to middle class. That black people are always at the bottom class, which means if they make something middle class, it's not for us.
You know what the word?
Thing,
The word that got me was conform. It wasn't the middle class. It was the conformity. It was the taking something as it is and changing it.
Yeah.
When I think of gentrification and why my biggest issue of it is the wiping away of history, culture, community. It's not really that they putting a nice ass building up, which is that's cool. But when you had to tear down, when you take away these historical monuments or just buildings that were, what was that? Is that the? I shot a video. I want to say it wasn't Third Ward. I want to say maybe Second or Fourth Ward, and they had like houses, this old ass houses, and it was like this is a landmark. So just a fucking regular house. It was like this is where the first slaves when they came free. This was the freelance. Bam, bam, bam.
You just make that up, and it was like.
No, I'm dead ass.
That is real.
No, it's very real, and
It's like it's close to TSU. So.
No, that's not the actual place. The story behind it.
no, there's like a plaque.
Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I'm just making
There's a
you
plaque.
said it like it was like all this, but all this slave
There's a
shit.
plaque.
whatever.
Then it's telling you the story of each and every house in this neighborhood. It's like this is why this is gonna stay. And every you'll see 3 old ones, and then you see like a condo or a high rise or whatever. And you see some more. I mean, it's like these houses have been deemed untouchable because what they represent. I think gentrification, a lot of times, first of all, to backtrack why these areas get so bad, because they're oftentimes looked at as if bad areas that are turning good or they're trying to fix. A lot of the reasons why they get to that point are systemic. So for me, it's like if I slap you across your head with a block of ice and then give you that ice for the swelling. Like, what the fuck? Am I supposed to look at you for coming to render me aid? Or do I remember that you put me in that position in the first place? So, and when I say that, I'm thinking about, like redlining and underfunding the schools in this area, and just the underfunding and the amount of attention that goes into these areas, whether it be the drugs that's in that community. And we can talk about how that is pinpointed and funneled down through the government into. We won't go there. Y'all niggas seen Snowfall.
Yeah.
Y'all niggas know how it was really good. So it's kind of there's no kind of about it. A lot of our areas that black people reside in have been systemically deprived. I don't want to say the intention was to always come back and get it, but
I wouldn't
now
put it past them.
now it's time they're cashing in on it to where it's like these areas are run down and it's being presented to some as if there's a favor in being involved, or it's good for y'all. We're gonna give y'all a new shiny. I don't know what the fuck they giving people.
Gems?
Or is it just houses?
Rec centers?
No, that's something that.
What else do they?
is being given- is
What
being
else do they
given.
build when they're gentrifying? It's not because it's not just.
Because when I think of like the
Yeah,
properties,
grocery stores, because in a lot of these disenfranchised areas, there's no grocery stores with real good fresh produce that's in close proximity.
It's called a dryer.
it's a dry spot or dry something. Yeah,
Damn, I can't.
we know.
Yeah,
we on the same page.
yeah.
They probably know.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of it is like, why wasn't this spot worthy of having this grocery store here, or having this produce here, or that access until what changed? What changed about this area? I'm not asking you, I'm not trying to put you on the hot seat. But what changed? Why is this area all of a sudden worth the investment to put into it? They'll come in and with a large amount of money. What we talked about on the last podcast with buying Black the Block, and you saying how you referenced the D-Boys and how they're not putting their money back into the community. I personally know about all the people I know with real money that can lose 50 grand, 60 grand, like they all hustlers. They are. Maybe one person, maybe my mentor is the only person who I know who has that much money and ain't doing illegal activities. I say all that to say, only where does it become their responsibility to, or is it our responsibility as an entire community to?
It depends. It's just like the government. If you making all this money in this neighborhood with these people, and you also might be harming them with whatever you making money with, I think as soon as you make the decision to do that, then you owe them something. If you really care about your neighbor, but it depends. Like most people that come from that, you don't want to stay there and help. You want to get the fuck out. You want to get far from there.
I think that comes with that's a different issue. That is some truth. I think a lot of the gentrification comes with the need for fast money. Now, whatever.
On the account of who needs the fast money?
The person who's selling.
Yeah.
Selling.
Whatever.
The land, the property, that this community that used to be all black, that's becoming.
I don't think it's the need of fast money. I think it's the amount of money that comes.
I think it's the fast money. I think if we can take 50,000 right now or 100,000 in a year, we taking 50,000 right now.
Yeah.
Anybody. And I'm not gonna say anybody, but
I think
most black people.
I think especially in
those
in the situations that I'm like referring to, it be the ones where the grandmother or somebody leaves the house with somebody. They're first in, like, right now I am family is tied up within, like, do we keep the house in the family or do we sell it because we can get this much forward? So it's just literally split down the middle of people who want to sell the family house versus keep it. And I think that's probably the number one thing.
But is that gentrification though? That's not gentrification.
But I'm saying that's what enables it.
Is it?
That's what if the people if they don't sell?
But
It's a part of it.
it's a part of it. But it's like, okay,
Is it the same
my mom flips houses,
Uh-huh.
so you have to realize, okay, like there's a maintenance process that comes into keeping a house.
Yep.
You can't just keep a house and just say, hey, I just have this property. You still gotta pay taxes on it and things of that nature. So if you don't want to deal with that, then you sell it. The gentrification comes in is more so when people are struggling, and then you go in and you feed on that struggle to get them out of the land that is worth more than you're willing to give them for. That it's worth more than what you're going to give them the money for, and they don't know what it's worth.
Yeah.
So they think
is that gentrification too, though?
I mean,
because I feel like that's just real estate investing. No matter where you get a house, you're gonna try to get it undervalued.
No, but it's the point when you can buy a whole area extremely undervalued, and then you move the people out. You can't buy a block. You can't buy an apartment building, right? Let's use New York. You can't buy an apartment building of home, and let's say the rent is $2,500, and then say, okay, I'm buying this. I'm gonna fix it up, and I'm gonna charge everybody that's been living here for 10 years $4,500. I know they can't afford it, and I'm gonna move. That's the way of moving out.
See, that's the thing about it. I don't think it's necessarily the actual gentrification process that causes the problem. I think it's what results from that gentrification. So because we are taking these lower class, quote unquote lower class neighborhoods and conforming them to middle class taste, when that happens, property values are naturally going to rise, right? No matter who buys the block. If the bank buys the block or if TI buys the block, no matter who's buying it and reselling it, the property value is going to go up. If you own that house, your property taxes are going to go up. There's nothing that you can do about that. The landlord can control the rents, but as an investor, as somebody who bought this property so that they can provide generational wealth for their family, if they're holding on to that asset and the rents aren't bringing in enough cash flow to keep up with the amount that they're paying to maintain the property, then they're in the worse off situation. So I don't think it's really racially.
I only think so because of
motivated as
how it starts. That's my biggest part of. That's why I don't like it. I understand the game, the real estate game, and just being capitalist. America's capitalist. So I don't think that the hustle is like evil. I don't think that that's. But I think that these areas have been deprived for so long, intentionally, and then once certain things start to happen, the money starts to flow back into the neighborhood. That is my issue. Why couldn't we have these recesses before we had to resort to such a, I guess once the neighborhood was gone and it was conformed and it was now middle class, now the resources are back available to.
Well,
I think that might be like
I think that's more so on. I still think that's on the community, because the things that you want in a neighborhood, most of the things that are in a neighborhood are franchises or are one owned businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So would you go to a certain neighborhood and put a Starbucks there? Would you go to a hood in Houston and put a Starbucks dead set in the middle of a Houston hood? No, because it's not gonna do anything. It's not worth the investment. It's not gonna probably make the money. And so now they're gonna come in. They're gonna buy the houses around them and conform it to a middle class. And now putting a Starbucks there might be beneficial. Putting a Whole Foods there might be beneficial because the community that's gonna surround it now is gonna be able to afford it. I don't know if y'all had something called Save a Lot. Like where I grew from, is something called Save a Lot. You had like Aldi's, all the cheaper grocery stores. You see them in those type of neighborhoods, but you don't see nothing like a Publix or H-E-B, or it's a bigger one called Wegmans. It's just about what's around it, and that's why for me gentrification is such a, like, to me it's like one of those trendy ass things that it's like it sounds good. It sounds great when you explain it, and when it's like we're like pro-black, but when we sit down and we really read the definition, really talk about what's actually going on, you can sit back and be like, damn, it kind of makes sense.
So do you know what redlining is?
Refresh me on the definition.
Okay, so redlining pretty much is where the banks could go into have a map and say this area we deem is not worth an investment. So if somebody,
we won't lend out money to these people, so that we don't want to lend money to people within this particular area.
Okay, so say if I wanted to open up a business myself, a grocery store, or give access, or no matter what the kind of business it was, that would generate money, interest, and be a lifeline to the community. I'm deprived of that. If I wanted to go get a home loan for a house in that area, I'm deprived of that. If I wanted to renovate a house in that area and I wanted to go get a loan for it, I'm deprived of that. So they pretty much have strangled out all the resources that are available everywhere else. And also that comes with that would be, with the policing that goes on in that area. They'll kind of constrict the votes, as far as it's like, okay, well this area only represents 1% of the vote. So y'all get 2% of the vote, the whole city votes on it, resources only kicked out 2%. That's how gentrification, like that's not, at the end result may be okay, but it's kind of one of those things to where like at its infancy, a lot of fuck shit had to occur for somebody else to capitalize on the opportunity. My issue is that it occurred. And so I'm not looking at the end result. I'm looking at the entire movie and was like, yeah, it may be better for somebody somewhere, but a lot of fuck shit and a lot of deprived and a lot of I don't know. A lot of people had to get fucked over in order to get to that point.
I think America might depend on that. I think gentrification might actually be like maybe like a savings account to them. Like anything happen, yo, we gonna go here. We gonna use this area.
I think
they make this amount of money for this.
But
area.
do you think the ability to say no is more important?
When you put them in situations,
what
like
you mean?
The ability to say no, right? At the end of the day, a lot of the family, your house is your family owns this house, right? If they try to gentrify the area, and I don't know what type of area it is, but let's just say they try to gentrify the area. Mm-hmm. If everybody on the block said no, what happens?
Yeah.
Like, I think so. I totally agree that gentrification has occurred. But I also, what I say, like, I think that when people discuss it, people don't discuss it as in depth as you just did, and people only use, like, okay, they come in and they just put the Starbucks here and they're just buying this and the
I
third.
don't think like the white man is like the devil or evil or anything like that. Or
well,
think that gentrification.
Right? Because
gentrification has to be done by a white person. That's not true.
Exactly. So I feel like when people say gentrification, they coming into our communities, pushing us out. Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like
everything all inclusive.
Nah, so it's
right. So it's no matter who, and that's why I want to understand, like, what does it mean to buy the block back? Because we are buying these properties, we are flipping them, because we inherently, when we buy the block back, we want to come in, invest our money, and conform that to middle class taste, right? But just keep our people in it, right? Mm-hmm. So is that gentrification?
Technically, yes. Technically, yes, but the difference is
what are you conforming to?
You're conforming to middle class
taste.
You're still
but that's why I said
you're not pushing the people out.
But what you want.
I don't think anybody intentionally. I'm not gonna say anybody. So systematic gentrification, I'm sure that's a thing. Yeah. But we have individual investors. I feel like that's probably the majority of it at this point in time. Majority of individual investors coming into communities trying to find an opportunity.
How many of them are buying the houses and actually leasing them back out at affordable prices, opposed to buying them, flipping them, and just selling?
When you take an area like
but what if they're buying them, flipping them, and selling it to another black family? Is that
how many black families have enough money to cash out on a house like that?
That's a whole other issue. That's a whole other issue.
I got a question. What's the purpose of taking an area like Third Ward and renaming it to Museum District?
The museum district. No, the museum district is just west of Third Ward. Third Ward is still Third Ward. Mm-hmm. Third Ward is still Third Ward.
So when you get these,
the museum district look a little Third Ward or something.
So when I asked that question because the Turkey Leg Hut was getting a lot of complaints and this, that, and the third. About the area, and they referred to that area as the museum district.
It's not.
That's definitely not.
That's Third Ward.
Don't you go under the bridge?
We keep saying they. Who's they?
It was the news.
That's a publication.
They was just making it.
That's not a fact. That this just because the news
said
that this is museum district. Maybe they didn't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's the government renaming Third Ward as the museum
I think
district.
there is a little bit more to it than just saying this. I don't feel like it's such a coincidence with the amount of old shit going away and new high rises coming up. I think it's a lot sexier to tell somebody, "Oh, I can charge you triple because you staying in the museum district as opposed to you staying in Third Ward."
Oh, I got a question then, because like I said, I'm not from Houston, but I've been told that the Heights. I was just thinking the Heights in my head. Used to be the area,
and that's trash. Niggas breaking the cars.
The Heights is probably in Houston. This area is like the premier source of like gentrification. Third Ward, the Heights, and I don't want to leave nobody out, but yeah, the Heights definitely all those little condo-y like
with 3-story townhouses.
Yeah, they cost like $500,000. Yeah, that's gentrification, bro. And those by the Heights is where you'll see a lot of those buildings I'm referring to, and you see the houses, and you'll see that they're historical landmarks and shit like that. So I don't know why we Are we leaving something out?
I don't know. It's your show.
No, you was the
This
one
is
so
your Sunday.
adamant.
Yeah,
They were like,
this
oh,
is-
I need to be here for the gentrification talk. I'm going to save the world with what I have.
Nobody said that.
Save the world,
First of all,
Jazz.
this was supposed to conform into what y'all already had.
We just talked about not conforming.
I'm not out for the conformity.
This was supposed to mesh with what y'all already had.
It didn't really mesh at all.
That ain't my fault.
But I try to, like, if we, like, leave off on anything in a previous episode, I try to, like, you know, let it flow a little in the next one.
Let's just piss people off. Fuck that.
So, I mean, we talked a little bit about gentrification. We talked a little bit about cancel culture in there. We didn't really... Oh, we talked about Kaepernick, I think, last
Talked a
episode.
lot about R. Kelly.
No, I'm talking about last episode of why we didn't talk about
okay,
what we
okay.
talking about
This
today.
episode will be called. So it's gonna be had to do something with R. Kelly.
Surviving.
Surviving. It's gonna literally be surviving R. Kelly part 3.
No, man, I don't know.
Surviving the cancellation.
Oh, so all right, what we got on time for?
We are at 1:35.
All right, so really quick, let's see how quickly we can get this. So just about the cancellation and the Jay-Z shit. How y'all feel about that?
About the...
Jay-Z's actions.
I don't
About
agree.
with the
I
deal?
don't care.
I don't agree, but I don't. But the issue is
You talking about the deal with the NFL?
Yeah.
the whole deal, or just what he. Or
Nobody
just
knows the whole deal. Why
Exactly. That's why I don't even care, bro.
Bro.
Let him do some concerts and let it
I'm
go.
saying with the information you have and not with the information.
I'm a firm believer of if you want to control something, you need somebody in power there. Just like if we want to change something in our neighborhood, you need to vote locally. If you don't have nobody at the table, you can't change shit. You can't do anything. We just niggas from the outside that's paying money. We pay them.
I agree. I just also think you can't. I'm tired of people judging every move, like every single step of a move, and if they do 10 steps right and then they take one step back, it's like, what the fuck? Like,
And it's
blah,
not
blah,
even
blah.
just, bruh, this nigga has been paying niggas lawyer fees. He
I don't
did
care
a
about that.
performance after 9/11. I'm just saying the
Okay.
character. Just the character of
I
this
saw
person.
when I was I don't know what year this came out. Do y'all remember this thing on MTV when Jay-Z went to go give Africans water?
No, I don't remember that.
Bro, y'all don't remember that shit? It was on
I don't know.
MTV. This was the first act of like, why the fuck he out there with these Africans? Like, this wasn't like cool. This was probably like, I probably was like
Oh, something.
10 or 11.
Yeah. But
I probably was smaller.
he's been doing this shit. So for him, and we know his character, we know his background, for him to get a position like this, I don't see why people are doubting him so much.
Okay, so this is why I felt away about it.
Especially without not knowing the whole
Okay.
deal.
Jay-Z, with knowing the deal or not, I think it's what Jay-Z represents to us. Jay-Z's kind of like the godfather of our generation. He is the embodiment. He's kind of like the GOAT, especially when you got Beyonce. My nigga,
Yeah.
he probably the
Yeah,
GOAT.
Shane,
So
still
it's
got
not
Shane.
what Jay-Z does, it's kind of what Jay-Z represents. If anybody could tell folks, fuck you, I don't need your money, it's Jay-Z. So when Jay-Z takes that seat at the table, it's kind of like it gives people. I understand the animosity or the confusion. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying I understand it because what the goal ultimately is for him to accomplish, he could have accomplished with or without the NFL. Where I feel like he's smart in taking all I can do is speculate. I feel like Colin Kaepernick took the knee. They reached out to Jay-Z before to do the Super Bowl. Came out that he turned it down. He said, y'all niggas need to get that shit squared away with Colin before I fuck with y'all at all. Colin Kaepernick settles. Jay-Z, they double back and was like, well, we would like to work with you. You know, we didn't have our shit together. We kind of would like to kind of be some kind of liaison and help us kind of fix some of the shit we fucked
And
up.
that's
on.
what I'm saying. Now they need us.
And exactly. And I think I was told at a very young age when I learned the recipe, the game is to be sold, not told. I don't know if y'all niggas, I don't know who OGs y'all got. Gather around hustlers as if you're still living. I don't think that we should be, if we are going to give our any service of worth should be given for free. Secondly, Jay-Z's worth $1 billion by itself. Beyonce's worth another $500 million. How much money you niggas think the NFL is paying Jay-Z?
Pennies.
Really? Do you think this nigga really sold out? Like, what could he possibly... It's not money that he's really trying... Niggas really want a Band-Aid. It's really the imagery that they're doing this all for. Jay-Z's like, all right, I'm going to come in. I'm going to help y'all niggas.
Yeah, he'll rebrand in the NFL.
All right, but I'm going to help y'all rebrand. I'm going to help you. The concert shit, the niggas going to sell out anywhere.
Yeah, they going to
like,
be
it ain't, who like, Meek Mill not going to sell out?
Come on, bro. I don't know that Megan Trainor chick, though.
Meg who?
Megan Trainor. Is that her name?
Meg the Stallion?
No,
Megan Trainor. So
That's
about
the other
that
chick
bass. About that bass.
Oh, that's her?
Treble. Yeah.
Thought that was Katy Perry.
Or with John Legend, I'm gonna love you like I'm gonna lose you. Come on, man.
I don't know that song, but I know the first.
Wait, who? What's her name?
Megan Trainor. Meek Mill.
Did you watch the
Oh,
four? Did you watch the four?
I thought you
With
said
Diddy?
Meg the Trainer.
Megan Trainor.
I thought it was gonna be like, I thought y'all was talking about somebody like gonna be like
An
working
actual
players
trainer.
out. I was confused. Okay,
Very confused.
I did hear the second song you named. I ended up based no trouble song, but I didn't know who that was.
Yeah, I thought it was like-
I thought
it was like
Katy
Elevator.
Perry.
Somebody
I
white
thought
like
it was-
Katy Perry.
I thought it
That's
was
all
Katy
I
Perry. I thought it was definitely Katy
Katy
Perry.
Perry, Taylor Swift, one of them. They're one of them.
And I saw Lady Gaga.
I'm
and
racist.
Katy
I could be
Perry.
racist.
I don't think I'm not.
So
I know.
basically, y'all are saying y'all just genuinely thought Jay-Z was really wanted to make the change that he wanted to see in the NFL.
Based off his past actions, yes. I don't see how people thought this nigga out of everybody was gonna join and be like, yeah, fuck y'all.
Especially after the if you sequence the shit, he already turned down the Super Bowl. I guarantee you, the Super Bowl performance is probably gonna pay. I'm not gonna say the Super Bowl performance would have been more beneficial to him than taking this job.
Deal.
I can say that. I can't say one would be
Yeah.
called. The Super Bowl performance would be more beneficial.
Financially.
Yeah.
More, yeah.
So I think there's definitely some chess being played. I don't know about the JC ownership shit, but I ultimately feel like Kaepernick has become some kind of representation of something that he really not.
I just think sometimes you gotta just let the situation cook a little bit. Like,
Yeah, bro.
we so quick to react, we so quick to say this is right, this is wrong, and we just don't let the situation cook. And I say you give it a year, you circle back around and you see what happened, you see what is there or what isn't there, and then you make your judgment.
People were more mad at him for taking the deal than they were mad at Kaepernick for settling.
Which is,
I didn't understand that.
That's just
and for what
crazy.
he rumoredly would avoid, they said he settled for.
It was bullshit. It was, bro, come on.
So are people out here canceling Jay-Z because of it?
People
trying
can't
to.
cancel Jay-Z.
Can't
Jay-Z
cancel.
supposedly
trying.
sold out.
But anytime you do anything that's against quote unquote black, it's like you selling out, but it's not. You're not selling out. You just.
Hey, I think
You gotta get it. You gotta get in the room. You can't make any progress without taking steps forward. And everybody want to take steps forward the way they want to take steps forward by not trying to meet people halfway or not trying to get themselves into positions to where they can make a change. You can't make a change from your keyboards anymore. Like, everybody got an opinion now, so that makes your opinion really not as relevant as it probably can be if you get yourself into a room.
And I think that's why a lot of people are just gravitating on because their opinions don't really weigh so much, so they just jump on and they it's fucking the bandwagon shit. What was I finna say? I think that as far as with the Jay-Z shit, I don't think that he can be canceled. Not in this situation.
He cheated on Beyonce.
That's what I'm saying. If he get canceled after that, he not getting canceled.
He can't be canceled.
And I think that Colin Kaepernick has somehow, and shit, not even Colin Kaepernick, I think the NFL has somehow become the punching bag for police brutality.
That's a different conversation.
I don't think what the fuck the NFL got to do with telling him, hey bro, chill with that shit at work.
That's it right there. If a nigga come in with a dashiki to work and be like, yo, you can't, come on, bro, you make
No, it ain't even wearing like on some dashiki shit. Like, if you feel so strongly about the NFL, then I want you to go into your place of employment, look at the handbook, and start violating shit. And just see how long they keep you around. And what you want, I want you to do, I want Colin Kaepernick to come support your ass. If
He won't even support himself. He not gonna come
speak
support
up.
you.
Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, everybody can they never said, Colin, you can't speak up. They never said, Colin, you can't have an opinion about
that
something.
might have been part of his agreement. We don't know that.
No, but he has never. The agreement happened in February of this year.
I thought that was
this year.
It was 19.
He been out the NFL for all this time. Colin Kaepernick ain't said shit.
Are you sure he didn't settle last year?
He settled in February, right after the Super Bowl.
Okay, that's me then. Sure.
Or it was this year for sure.
Okay,
I guarantee it was this year for sure. He ain't said shit but some tweets that Nessa said. And Nessa said this and Nessa said that.
But I'm saying it might be.
It's like if you don't lead the movement, niggas was looking for Dr. King and not Coretta.
Nah, but once you settle, bro.
And then that's his girlfriend. That's not even Coretta. At least Coretta was really had his like whatever. That's not even here or there. But I think that I don't want to get too. We're already there. I just think that Colin Kaepernick has missed. He caught lightning in the bottle and just didn't use it at all. I think he really could have been something that we could have talked about in our history books.
I don't think he was ready for that. Even
I don't think
taking a knee.
I don't think he ever really wanted it.
Yeah.
I don't think that he really ever was trying to do what he said he was trying to do.
I mean, because he was still trying to get a job.
Yeah.
At the same time.
So I mean, you don't feel that strongly.
But he had a job.
Well, I'm saying he was trying to get back on the NFL team.
He still is to this day.
Exactly.
So I don't
believe you. You need more people.
I think people have put so much stock and equity into him. I don't think he asked for it. One, I think that's on us. I think we got to choose our leaders more wisely, especially when we need guidance and somebody just gonna go ghost us. I think that our issue with police brutality is a real issue. We need to address it accordingly. But if we think that we're gonna solve police brutality by boycotting the NFL and supporting Colin Kaepernick, we fucked up.
Priorities, my G.
I think we done went all over the place as usual. I don't give a fuck. That's kind of what we do here.
The judge to say that shit she had to say earlier.
Y'all still, yeah. I think that's my main. I want to wrap up because I want to know what the fuck she had to say. What we at on time? We done, right?
Yeah.
We good? Any open issues? Oh yes, I do have one open issue. If you made it this far, thank you. I applaud you. I'm grateful. I think everything OETKB the pod on Instagram and all your search engines. I'm not really fooling with that Twitter right now. I'm really gonna pass it off to somebody else. I can't do the Twitter account, but we are active on the Facebook, the social medias, and this, that, and the third. We should be on iTunes on this episode here, just in case that's your platform of choice. We got the Google Play, we got the Spotify, and
all this shit.
The YouTube will be coming this week as well. YouTube will be up this week as well. And all I ask is for y'all support, the like, share, comment, and tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a hoe. I have been that nigga since the dock of my umbilical. But that's all we got, man. It's the OEB.
Oh, it's
Somebody-
the OETKB podcast. We out. Bitch.
That boy Jason was over there like, I was like,
Waste time, let's stop go.
I saw him slide over. He was like,
I
bro, these niggas should just stop talking.
Somebody
I
got
gotta go.
ibuprofen?
You said you gotta take a shit.
Ibuprofen.
Just gotta take a shit.
I said I got a headache.
start
Does
recording.
anybody have an
I got a
ibuprofen?
Molly.
Shit.
Jazz gotta take a shit. Jazz, what you was finna say?
Yeah, what you gonna say?
I honestly don't even remember now.
Oh God! Oh my goodness! That's cool.
After all that, it just.
Jazz,
Because I feel like.
Jazz, you're a liar.
I know it's extremely inappropriate though. And
That's what this whole
fact
show
that it
is.
but that's not my character. Like,
Jazz, then don't come on our show if you can't be inappropriate.
So what was it?
I honestly.
You're a liar.
I'm not lying. Like. I mean, y'all would have to remind me of what the point I was trying to.
It was.
say.
I think it was. I think you was gonna ask me. To what extent will I go get some pussy?
That's definitely what I thought.
Take away his woman. If that was the one thing he wanted. Take away vagina.
What did I end up saying?
I don't even remember.
Some pussy PC shit.
I really don't remember. I have to go back and listen to the. What?
You disappoint me. You let Nas down.
I might have.
When the next time we record?
Ain't you going out of town?
Yeah, it's gonna be. I got my schedule too.